Hello and welcome to Planet Real, the place for all things Real Madrid. Today we're breaking down the latest moves by the CTA, Spain's referees committee, and explaining why, yet again, Real Madrid will have to fight not just its rivals on the pitch, but also the deep-rooted corruption that continues to poison Spanish football. Yes, the CTA has announced changes, yes, they've introduced new faces. But after looking closely at who's been appointed, we're left with one clear conclusion. Different names, same old system. Let's get into it. Earlier today, July 21st, 2025, the Spanish Football Federation published a press release outlining the new structure of the CTA. According to the statement, and I quote, CTA President Fran Soto presented the team that will accompany him in leading the refereeing committee for the start of a new phase based on transparency, unity, independence, meritocracy, and objectivity. Those are some big words, but let's take a look at who's actually running the show. First up, David Fernandez Borbalon, named Technical Director. This is a man who refereed in La Liga for 14 seasons, including 8 as an international. On paper, it looks impressive. But here's what they won't mention in the Spanish Federation statement. Real Madrid's win percentage in matches officiated by Borbalon was well below 50%. A massive red flag when compared to the usual 60-65% you'd expect from any top-tier team over dozens of matches. And let's not forget, Borbalon was one of the referees most active during the Negreira era, an era in which FC Barcelona paid €7.3 million between 2001 and 2018 to the sitting vice president of the CTA, José María Enríquez Negreira. These payments were made through companies linked to Negreira and are now the subject of a criminal investigation. This isn't a conspiracy theory. The payments happened. That's not in doubt anymore. So, why appoint someone so tightly linked to that time? Are we supposed to believe this is about transparency? Then we have Eduardo Prieto Iglesias, now in charge of the video assistant referee, also known as VAR. Another referee whose name probably means nothing to most casual fans. And that's because he never managed to establish himself at the top level. His record? He spent more years in the Spanish third division than in the first. He bounced between Segunda and Primera without ever making a mark, officiated barely 40 La Liga games, and never became an international. In fact, he only officiated one Real Madrid match in his entire career. And that's it. He was never trusted with high-profile games. And now this is the man being put in charge of one of the most powerful tools in modern football, VR. What qualifications does he really bring to the table, other than being obscure and, let's be honest, easy to control? And to add a layer of theater, the CTA announced a communications initiative where their spokesperson, Marta Frias, a former referee, will periodically explain controversial referee decisions to the public. Sounds like a step forward, right? Well, not really, because those explanations will only happen every 2 or 3 match days, and only for selected incidents, likely the safe ones. And they won't be given by the referees involved, but by a spokesperson reading prepared statements on social media. It's not transparency. It's public relations. To quote the official release, referees will analyze specific decisions in an effort to increase understanding. But when the referees who made those decisions remain silent and only someone external gives a vague explanation, it's just smoke and mirrors. So, what are we left with? A CTA claiming to move on from the Negreira era, while putting people from that same era back in charge. A promise of openness, with no real accountability. A structure that continues to serve the same interests that kept Barca shielded for nearly 2 decades, with Real Madrid fighting alone for fairness. Let's be clear, the only reason Real Madrid has continued to win some titles in Spain during this period is because we are the best club in the world. Period. We've won despite the system, not thanks to it. We've overcome corrupt refereeing, biased treatment, and scandal after scandal. Not because it was fair, but because this club never stops competing, never stops pushing, never gives up. But that doesn't mean we should accept this as normal. We love football, we love competition. But we want fair competition. And the truth is, with this new CTA, it's hard to believe anything has really changed. Once again, it looks like Real Madrid will have to fight for every point, not just against 11 players, but against an entire structure that continues to protect those who nearly destroyed the integrity of Spanish football. But we'll keep calling it out, we'll keep demanding justice, and we'll keep winning whenever possible, because that's what we do. Thanks for watching Planet Real. If you care about Real Madrid, if you believe in fair football, then help us grow. Like this video, leave a comment, share it, and subscribe to the channel. We are Planet Real, and we'll keep speaking the truth. See you next time. Hala Madrid.